Welcome once again to Commanded by Danon. Today's video came about because of a conversation with my lovely wife and editor, cutestuff. When we got back into Magic back in 2017, she fell in love with the deck I built for her around embalming and eternalizing. Her deck was a standard deck, so she had 4 copies of Anointed Procession, but what she really enjoyed was the life gain from Anointer Priest. Have you ever had 2 token doublers on board and then embalmed back an Anointer Priest? So she suggested building a deck based around that idea. With the deck theme in mind, we then had to figure out the color and the commander. We finally settled on a commander that I think fits our theme perfectly, the Necrobloom. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. The Necrobloom is a 4-mana 2/7 legendary plant with a landfall trigger. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under our control, we create a 0/1 green plant creature token. If we control 7 or more lands with different names, we create a 2/2 black zombie creature token instead. Additionally, lands in our graveyard have Dredge too. Dredge is an interesting and powerful mechanic. It's a replacement effect that says instead of drawing a card, we may return a card from our graveyard to our hand, while milling a certain number of cards. In this case, 2. So, the Necrobloom will help us to fill our graveyard, allowing us to cast our embalmed or eternalized creatures from our graveyard. Now, I did come across a problem. There aren't that many creatures with embalm or eternalize in all of Magic, even if we're in a 3-color deck. So we'll need to have some other shenanigans in our deck to make it not only functional, but also powerful. This is a deck for my wife, after all, and she is a woman of immaculate taste and ruthless aggression. With that in mind, this deck won't have a budget. Don't worry, there will be budget decks in the future, just not this one. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is made famous by their boulders. Solid, reliable, and affordable deck boxes. Boulders are now available in solid colors, like this beautiful red one seen here. Find it if your local game store carries the new Ultimate Guard solid color boulders, or click on the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm currently streaming with my son over on Gaming with Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Our land base consists of Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Marsh Flats, Verdant Catacombs, Windswept Heath, Flooded Strand, Bloodstained Mire, Wooded Foothills, Indatha Triome, Godless Shrine, Overgrown Tomb, Temple Garden, Vault of Champions, Undergrowth Stadium, Bountiful Promenade, Shattered Sanctum, Deathcap Glade, Overgrown Farmland, Isolated Chapel, Woodland Cemetery, Sunpetal Grove, Shadowy Backstreet, Underground Mortuary, Lush Portico, Field of the Dead, Bajuka Bog, 3 Plains, 3 Swamps, and 5 Forests. Now, normally with Field of the Dead, I recommend running a split of snow-covered basics and regular basics, but we're a 3-color deck, so we should be fine. For mana ramp, we've got Fanatic of Ronus, Smothering Tithe, Azusa Lost But Seeking, Thalia and the Gitrog Monster, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, Burgeoning, Exploration, Crucible of Worlds, Conduit of Worlds, Ramming Up Excavator, Crop Rotation, 3 Visits, Rampant Growth, Farseek, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Tireless Provisioner. Yes, that is a lot. Why do you ask? Our card advantage consists of Timeless Dragon, Timeless Witness, Sun Titan, the Gitrog Monster, Eternal Witness, 6, Unburial Rites, Eerie Ultimatum, Entomb, the Immortal Sun, and Phyrexian Arena all help us to dig through our deck or reanimate cards as needed. For interaction and spot removal, we've got Angel of Sanctions, Dream Stealer, Swords to Plowshares, D-Spark, Assassin's Trophy, Vindicate, Anguished Unmaking, Beast Within, Generous Gift, Leyline of the Void, Fracture, and Dawn's Truce. Lots of ways to keep our opponents in line. For board wipes, we're running Toxic Deluge, Damn, and Farewell. Powerful and mean, just like my wife. The core of our deck consists of Honored Hydra, Sacred Cat, Oketra's Attendant, Adorned Pouncer, Resilient Kenra, Steadfast Sentinel, Sunscourge Champion, Scoot Swarm, Anointer Priest, Avenger of Zendikar, Obnixilis the Fallen, and Oketra the True. Oketra is in here because she was in the original standard deck that inspired this video. Supporting our plan, we've also got Curse Cloth Wrappings, Anointed Procession, Doubling Season, Odger Tack Deepest Foundation, Parallel Lives, Mondrak Glory Dominus, and Primal Vigor. Gotta make sure when we bring back a creature, we bring back an absurd amount of creatures. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 54 mana sources, split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. What? We're kind of a landfall deck. Some would say this is light. 11 pieces of card advantage, 12 pieces of interaction, 3 board wipes, 3 pieces of graveyard hate in Leyline of the Void, Farewell, and Bojuka Bog. No sudden I win cards, but lots of value. A deck like this is not built to combo off and win the game. It is built to be a value engine. We make tokens. Lots of them. We make tokens when lands into the battlefield. We make tokens when we embalm or eternalize creatures from our graveyard. We make tokens when we destroy permanents. Okay, we actually give those to our opponents, but you get the point. A deck like this is token-centric, which is exactly why we're running just about every single token doubler in the game. And since our deck cares about landfall, I figured our ramp should help enable us playing as many lands as possible per turn. Now, I've discussed this on the channel before, but I felt we should talk about it again. Azusa, Lost But Seeking, and other effects are not great ramp on their own. Generally, I'd run a Cultivate over an Azusa. The reason why is math. For us to consistently play 1 land per turn, if our deck has 37 lands, we need to draw 3 cards per turn just to have a 75% chance of drawing a land. But with Azusa, the goal is to play 3 lands per turn, which means we'd need to draw 9 cards per turn to have a similar chance. 72.7 instead of 75. Now, building a deck that consistently draws 9 cards per turn is possible, but it's far easier to pair Azusa and other extra lands per turn effects with the ability to play lands from the graveyard, combined with fetches. Now, this is not a cheap way to ramp, but the first time I saw my wife do this, her grin was both gleeful and sadistic. And whenever she smiles like that, I always like being in a different pod. Do you have a deck led by the Necrobloom? What theme did you go with? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Drya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alex, Borgie, Naswin, Conga, Chris, Robert, William Pye, Kazaris, Booksu, Patrick, Tiz, Art, Richard, Sent, Boomy, Jackie, Finn, Zen, Osra, Justin, and Christian. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.